if your intention is to make sure that people get value from your product, and if your commitment to yourself is you're going to do whatever is necessary to make sure that they get the value, they need to do their part, obviously, but you're going to do everything that you can to make sure that they get the result. If that's your approach, it doesn't have to be that perfect, because people come in, you don't know exactly yet what it is they're going to need, what's going to work for them, what's going to resonate. You got to work with them so that you can tailor it to them. And then it's like, all right, this is what I had planned, these like 6 modules. And then you go and you're like, okay, there's still a piece missing. Let's add that. You just keep building it. The goal is not to be like, oh, this is the box and this is what they get and that's it. The goal is to get the result, and you're figuring out how to deliver that. You can always add extra, put it out there the way it is, get the feedback, and make it better. You don't have to actually develop anything before you sell it. Build it as you go, because you know you can solve the problem, and you know that you will continue till you solve the problem for them. The other thing I wanted to add is do it yourself is way harder to sell and make money from than done with you. Because do it yourself, now you're competing with YouTube and TikTok and Google. If people really want something, they can find the information that they need for free online, which means most people don't really want it that bad, right? So a lot of the times when you're doing a do-it-yourself thing, you're competing with that, and your price point is lower. So it's a harder sale to make, and you make less money. Yes, you can scale more, so that's great. Just know that going in, be committed to that. So I love the done with you model because it's still quite scalable. And some of the things you can actually outsource. You can hire coaches really cheap, and then you educate them, and they're all looking for work, right? You can hire them pretty cheap, and then you train them in your method, in your process, and then they can do a lot of the fulfillment for you. You got to make sure that the quality is there, obviously, so you have processes around that. I mean, that's how the Pompa Brothers are doing like 35 million this year. It's that model. There's course content that you consume on your own, but there's actual coaches there, and they have a whole program for hiring and training and managing their coaches. They're like over 100 people on the team, and they're hiring pretty aggressively. And the trick is that funnel where you hire and you train and onboard coaches is the exact same model that you use to sell your products, right? You put an ad out, you send people to a webinar to let them know about the job and the opportunity. And that whole thing, you can also just automate or systematize and have someone manage that whole process once you've built it out. Then you can scale it out. People will pay much more for that, and it's much more valuable to them, and you make a lot more money that way.